Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I love you. It is May 26th, 2018, and it appears the prediction I made over a month ago that we would see our first hurricane landfall before hurricane season starts is deadly accurate. And as Dada Boo, not the same as Dabu, pointed out to me this morning, I shouldn't get cocky because my super hot luck streak could run out anytime soon. Which I agree, but it's like I said to him, if being lucky means I am always broke, I never have a woman to kiss, and I always take shit from all angles and all sectors, I am totally okay with having my good luck streak end today. Though, lucky for you guys, I don't think that's happening. Because what we have here, I'm going to go ahead and stick with my original prediction from over a month ago and think that this thing, against all odds, is going to reach Hurricane Category Status 1. You can disagree with me. People have for the last 3 weeks. So why change mid-stride in the middle of a race now? And so, no matter what, we all agree this thing is going to be a sloppy, wet mess. The status of the system itself really only means the difference in storm surge, which is my least favorite thing, and wind. That no matter what, the rain associated with the system is going to be pretty devastating to an area that is heavily saturated. The East Coast and the South have been taking a pounding for days. So that regardless of what this is and does, it's going to be devastating. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Puerto Rico's handicapped, Hawaii's handicapped. At this rate, it looks like we're going to have some states on the Gulf Coast handicapped. And it is time for Americans to disregard all political bullshit, chicanery, schadenfreude, dog and pony show shit to come together as one people. Because your non-American media is only there to divide and conquer you. So, we are the Asteroid Fight Club. We're a team here at THORNEWS. We look for solutions to all of the challenges we face. So, yeah, if you were on the Gulf Coast, hopefully you have battened down the hatches. Because we've been talking about this for days. Months, weeks actually. And so, let's run through the good people. As I was mentioning, Dada Boo, not the same as Dabu, is saying, breaking Gulf of Mexico, first time since 2017, Atlantic tropical cyclone season, that the seas have been in excess of 20 feet to nearing 25 feet for Alberto. And I'm guessing that is based off, yes, tropical storm. If it becomes a hurricane, expect those numbers to get larger. And it, as is the pattern with the patterns of these storms, they usually get more severe and break all predictions and forecasts before they get here. So if like 4 inches of rain is forecast, we'll see 8. So just kind of how we operate at THORNEWS. We understand and prepare for the worst case scenario, pray for the best, and that's how we roll. So I hope you can handle that. This is from Ryan Maue with weather.us. GFS and the many precious runs of the European model indicate a 980s central pressure near the coast. Typically category 1 hurricane pressure, but this is against lower environmental and lowering pressures. I put the line at 60 to 70 knots max for intensity. Now, what I did was I just took the high and the low and averaged them. And so I think it'll probably make landfall somewhere around 975, which would make it a Cat 1. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, and I'm totally ready to be wrong. I'd love to date women again. The ones that I want that I can find. Anyway, and then Dada Boo also points out that a full moon coming will exacerbate the storm surge in low-lying waterway areas. Persistent deep-rooted southerly flow combined with torrential rains. All right. Brandon At Brandon WPFI, the 12Z models eyeing the panhandle with a decent tropical storm. We're seeing the range anywhere from Louisiana over to Miramar, Destin, as far as where the eye will go. I still think the 384 GFS is correct, and it's going to put it somewhere in the middle so that Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and even Georgia are all going to be directly affected. Now, the top weather guy, whose in-depth analysis sometimes goes way too deep because he's way too smart, is crankywxguy at Twitter. And he has his own blog, which I highly recommend checking out. I believe it's called Storm Hamster. I'll put a link to it in the information box. It says, in the mid-levels, we can see the second feature starting to wrap up here again in about 3 to 4 hours. And that was 3 to 4 hours ago. So we are now looking for this process to accelerate as the kick coming in from the south enhances development and rotation. As you can see, Florida is already getting a decent amount of rain. And so we are now watching, thanks to Cranky's guidance, the kick is just about in. In about 3 to 4 hours, which is about now, the new feature will deepen and emerge as dominant. The initial will get drawn in from the south and be absorbed. Then watch the northwest Gulf kick diving into the tilt trough and promote enhanced support and guide the north Gulf track as well. So, yeah, I know Cranky doesn't believe it's going to get any easter, meaning that it will make landfall on the Gulf of Mexico side, and I agree with that. Though the models have shown this doing several wacky things. It had it spinning like an amoeba. So I would just pay attention and be aware. Here we're looking at precipitable water, which is rain that is willing to participate in a storm or an event. And the brown is bad. As you can see, it's about 2 to 4 inches. And so we do have a lot of moisture that is still pumping straight up into the Gulf of Mexico. And that this is one of those Harvey-like storms. I'm not saying you'll get 50 inches of rain. What I am saying is that this thing, we'll watch on the Euro. How do I put it? Right. This is us now. And then the storm itself, it kind of goes across. So Florida would be getting, the whole west coast of Florida would be getting a lot of rain, wind, and some storm surge. And then it kind of sits in the Gulf for about a day, a half day. And then it decides to make landfall. I think the Euro is showing about 60 mile per hour wind gusts at the worst. But you'll notice it doesn't go up and into the United States until about Tuesday. And then it kind of does its thing, gets a little stronger, weakens. We're looking at Thursday, and the piece of energy is still now making its way over Ohio, Pennsylvania. And then finally exits in about a week out of the United States. And lo and behold, on this storm after storm after storm, wave after wave after wave pattern, wow, look at it explode in the Atlantic. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. Look at the storm. That's Alberto right there. Making its way towards Europe and such. So yeah, we got a pretty wild day ahead. Lucky for you, I will be around. Let's go back to, sometimes how it works around here is I make a call, and then when it's accurate, well, I get made fun of by the pros, and it's accurate. And they say don't get cocky. And like I said, I'm too broke to be cocky. I haven't kissed a pretty lady in months. So you don't have to worry about me getting cocky, especially when America's falling apart, nobody's listening, nobody's uniting. But Sam Lillo was making fun of me a month ago, or I don't think he's making fun of me as much now, but he's just saying, yeah, that was initialized on the 12th, but that had in the wrong area. I thought it was a new one. Anyway. And I had this weird thing saying that in my brain that, hey, we saw 4 nor'easters hit the same area almost in a month. So my other big prediction for this storm season is I think we're going to see 3 to 5 landfalling hurricanes. I think technically we could see 3 or 4 in a month. Kind of on the same pattern line as the nor'easters. Not the same place, but I'm saying that we see Mother Nature repeat these patterns time and time again. And so when it locks in on a pattern, it may take it a while to get out of it. And so that's why I'm saying this hurricane season could be pretty nasty. And so the same area could be seeing multiple hurricane hits this year. We prepare for the worst, pray for the best. If the best happens, you don't have to prepare for that. If the worst happens, you better be prepared. This is water vapor. Like we're seeing, we got a ton of water at the equatorial electric jet line. And it looks like we also have water streaming in from the southwest Pacific, at least as far as the Baja area. So yeah, crazy days indeed, man. And hurricane season technically hasn't even officially begun. As I've been saying for a month, you know, if we see a landfalling hurricane or even a tropical storm before hurricane season starts, that is a big of a sign as you guys should need that this is going to be a wild and wacky, devastating hurricane season. So, if we don't unite now, then when? You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of problems, and we can't continue the way we've been doing things for the last 30, 40 years. Right, regardless of its exact track and intensity, Alberto is expected to produce heavy rainfall, flash flooding over western Cuba, southern Florida, Florida Keys. Rainfall is problem number 1. And riptide, yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere into the ocean. The avocado of doom is pretty much spelling trouble from Florida to Louisiana. And landfall is going to be somewhere Sunday to Monday. So we will be watching this. I will be watching this. I want to say God bless everyone. This is a serious situation. There's subtropical Alberto, and it's going to bring a lot more rain into really saturated areas. And some portion in Florida have just seen over 10 inches of rain this month already. So we got a serious situation on our hands, people. I was hoping to take a vacation between hurricane seasons, but that didn't happen. So yeah, you got a lot of moisture coming in. And so when this wraps up, it's going to be a problem. But we got bigger problems coming down the road. This is almost a preseason game. I'm not taking away from the severity. People will die. There will be damage. But this is only the beginning. And I'm not here to scare you. I am Thor of THORNEWS. I'm here to prepare you for what is coming. And if you could see on here, none of the models have it reaching a Category 1 hurricane status. So the odds of it getting there should be pretty minimal. But if it happens, once again, that makes my call from a month ago pretty fantastic. And so when people say, Thor, why do you ask for money? Well, A, this is my full-time job. This is like a television station. I run it. I'm a one-man show, and I do pretty amazing things. And so, yeah, I depend on your contributions and donations to keep doing this. If you want good, solid information, sometimes a month in advance, THORNEWS is the place to get it. Although I rely on a large team of people, I'm not a one-man show. Although technically, I run my channel with one man, but I get a lot of my information from Weather Twitter, crankywxguy, Dadaboo. There are a lot of people that I draw from when I make my conclusions. So we are all in this together. And I just want to thank everybody for paying attention. And that definitely if any of these states become crippled, then having 3 red lights flashing on the board as your planetary defense commander, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and pick Florida, New Orleans, and having 3 out of 50 states in severe trouble is a sign we all need to come together. But I've been saying that for a while. Hopefully we'll get some divine intervention. So yeah, the models have it landfalling anywhere from Florida to Louisiana. I always be prepared for worst case scenario. And definitely anybody on the East Coast, or Texas, Gulf Coast, you need to be ready for this hurricane season. It's going to be a doozy, man. It's going to be a doozy. So, just want to say love you guys. Thank you. This is your 1 p.m. update on the 26th. We got at least one more day to prepare. But if you're on the Gulf, I keep watching. I just want to say thank you guys again. Stay cool. And I'll try and get you guys a new update in the next 5 or 6 hours. Stay cool. Peace out. God bless everyone.